So go grab yours and let's lay back and get to know each other better. So Nahal, welcome. How are you feeling today?
Ah, I am feeling so excited, so energized to finally be able to see each other face to face while we're doing our podcast, which has been going on for like 3 years now. Has it been three
Yeah,
years?
yeah.
Time has flown.
It
Whew.
has fun. I remember just, plugging in and recording my a very first episode, and that was
Yes,
really exciting. And here we are, 2023.
I know this is such a different dynamic. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling nervous, but it's excitement.
Yeah,
Feeling
same
that
here.
excitement. So yeah,
Woohoo. Well, shall we just get this party started or what?
let's dive right in. So I have some questions for you.
Hmm.
Let's first let our listeners know how did we first meet,
Sure.
and because it's a really cool story. Actually, I'm always amused by it. How we met and kind of like connected. Do
Woo.
you want to go? Let them know how
My
that happened.
gosh, how do I even go from like the very beginning when you walked into those doors and I was like sitting in for my brother's he was looking for someone to help him with his business and I had been kind of filling in helping him and Lucy walks in for the position and it was like a burst of like fresh air. Like I knew I had to know you. If anything, even if you didn't, which I'm so glad it didn't end up working out with the job front with him, but it worked out with us. It was almost like he was like a conduit for our relationship to start. And it was like we just immediately clicked and we got deep right away. And that's when you know you met a friend for life when you can just get deep right away and it's not surface level. Right? Is that kind of
Yeah, no,
your
that's completely accurate. I answered an ad about a job. I was kind of like in between jobs. I think I was at Fox, and then
oh
I don't
that's
know what
right.
happened after working with Fox, and I was kind of like, just trying to figure things out. And I answered that ad and went
Mhm.
to for an interview at your brother's company, and then I met you. Needless to say, I did not get the job, but I gained a friend for life. So, thanks
Yeah.
you to your brother for that.
I mean, if there's one thing I'm thankful for, it is yes, bringing like you into my life.
Yeah, no, same. So, and we've been friends since then, and it's been decades of friendship.
Almost 20 years probably by now.
Yeah, started in DC. I moved
Mhm.
back to the East. Well, I moved back to I think Rhode Island for a little bit, and I'm now in California. And here we are, still friends. And you went to Puerto Rico, came back. Now you're back in DC. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Actually, after I met you, I moved to LA, I believe, then
Oh
New
right,
York,
yeah,
and I came back, and then Puerto Rico, and now it's like a full circle. And now you're in LA, where I used to be.
right. We did a
Yep.
trade off,
We did
switch
a
off.
trade off, a little switcheroo.
Yeah. So that's how we met. I always, get a kick out of that story. It's pretty funny, but
Yeah.
it's a really nice story too. So that's how we met, and that's how we connected, and we've been friends ever since. And when I was actively looking for a co-host, you were the first person to come that came to mind. I'm like, well, who else could I have on this it to be my right hand woman here. So, and it's been a beautiful synergy,
Yeah.
connection. We
Hmm.
share a lot of similar stories. Our lives are very parallel, and we have
Yeah.
just a lot of wealth of wisdom and knowledge to share. So it's
Yeah.
been a beautiful experience so
And
far.
we're in our 40s now,
We
which
are.
is wild because we were in our 20s when we met, and here we are, early 40s, brand new like life changes going on. Like you just graduated, I just started, teaching at a university. It's again, it's like these cross parallel kind of connections that we have.
Yeah, I love it, and we hope that our stories add some value to your stories, and
Yes.
we hope that we can offer little jewels and wisdoms that little things that we've gathered and picked up along the way. So yeah, so here
Yes.
we are. So I'm going to dive right in with my first question. I'm really excited about this. What is your greatest source of inspiration? And you can take that anywhere you want to go.
You know what? My greatest source of inspiration is every day feeling grateful for a new day and seeing my daughter and helping her get ready for the day and seeing this like new generation that's going to be um, walking the path of being a woman in this new world that we're all waiting for, waiting to see how it unfolds, and just I feel like that is my greatest inspiration is, my daughter and every day just feeling like it's a brand new slate in a way. How about you?
I love that. I would say life in general. Life and the reminder of how finite life is. So every day I try to get up and make it count, and
Hmm.
I've been really intentional about that. I look for inspiration all around. Like I'm inspired every single day. I'm inspired by, um, just seeing the joy in my students' face, or like
Mhm.
inspired by different conversations that I may have with my partner, with my daughters, and you know, um, so I'm inspired by life. Life just like because it's every day it is a mystery to me. So I face it like that. Like, okay, what is today gonna bring? Like, what's the magic of today? And that to me,
I love that. What is the magic? And knowing that you still can use that word as an adult is beautiful. And I think that's why, staying youthful really is just staying present. Actually, so this is a quote from a SZA song I was listening to. It's called Good Days. And she said, we're all, what does she say? She says, we're all looking for the fountain of youth, but it's in the present.
mm,
The fountain of youth, whatever that is just being present in the
yeah,
moment.
it is because this moment is all there is, right? That's
Right.
today
Absolutely.
is right now. Yesterday was right now. Tomorrow, it's just like and being present, and that's a great reminder because sometimes we do forget. We're always, somewhere else. We always want to be somewhere else, right? So, just like,
So that Yes, and that is why I love our friendship so much. And I hope people watching this or hearing this also have that touchstone friend that brings them back to the moment where, yeah, you have a million things going on, a million problems, a million successes, a million just things you have to attend to. But then when you have that call or when you get in the presence of that one friend that reminds you, hey, what's good? What what are you doing right now? What about right now? What about this moment rather than having to think about, like you said, the past or the future?
yeah, exactly. And that's beautiful. And it's great to have someone in your life that can kind of like nudge you back and remind you. Um, so I am grateful for you, grateful for our friendship in that sense. So thank you
It's
for sharing
true.
that. That's beautiful. My next question is kind of like in the lines of like what inspires you, but what motivates you on days that you don't feel like your best self, right? So not every day is a perfect day, right? So what keeps you going? Is there anything that you'd like to share?
I love art. I love music. I love sensory things like scents or colors. So, when I'm not feeling my best, I'm probably going to pop on some songs that I love. I'm going to put on a bright outfit. I'm going to, even if I don't feel like it, present myself in the best way possible just so that as I face the day, I look like I'm in a good space because then I'll start to feel in a better space. And a lot of times I do realize that we have to let ourselves go through the bad times and like feel the funk. Um, kind of like, the song. feel the funk, or isn't there like a funk song? I don't know. My
Yeah,
husband loves music,
yeah.
so we're constantly playing that. But that's a tangent. Basically, being able to, feel, hey, acknowledge, might not be feeling the best, but let me get out in the world and start to feel good, whatever that is, whatever makes you feel good. And also, just like you said, thinking about life, thinking about being in the present moment. Those are the tools that I use, like meditation, you know, moments, music that brings you back to a better place in life too. I feel like music is such a great way to bring you to a place of joy, a place of memories. Yeah, so that's what I would say. That's a great question. Have you thought
Okay.
about your answer?
Um, well, let me think about it. So, what motivates me? I think, like you, just sometimes getting dressed and
Hmm, the
putting
ritual.
on some blush and, or I don't know, just doing little things like that kind of help me a little bit to recenter and because I feel like sometimes and scent too, like taking a shower and putting on a nice scented lotion or something like that, or putting on a nice outfit that makes me feel feminine and makes me feel good. Um, I think it's in the small things, right? That
Mhm.
small actions. It doesn't have to be anything like huge and elaborate. And that's where I find I get my motivation back because, just doing like little things like that. And writing, you know, how I feel about journaling.
Oh yes, of course.
That's a big thing that I do too, especially when I feel like that. I like to write. Um, I
Yes.
love gratitude journaling because that always nudges me back. And
Hmm.
once I start writing about all of the things that I am grateful for, I'm like, wow, there's just so much, And
Love
I
that.
kind of start forgetting about how I was feeling before. So there's so much to be grateful for, and you can always find so many reasons, and that to me is a great practice for me because it always snaps me back.
Hmm. I love that.
Yeah,
Gratitude. The
gratitude.
attitude of gratitude. And I can just imagine you like spraying your perfumes on and, you know, getting into getting your senses aligned.
Right,
That's
very
beautiful.
helpful. So
Like, yeah. And do you like scented candles too?
I do. We just got one the other day. It's a vanilla scented candle. It's so subtle, but it's such a mood booster. Like smells like that. It's huge. I'm glad you asked that because
Yes.
yeah, scented.
Also, is it soy?
It is soy. Yes.
Cool. Yeah, because I know there's some like ones with chemicals that you don't really want to be burning in your house because they increase like the VOCs and they're just not good to breathe in. But like soy is a great one, and then there's like other more natural candles out there. It's like
Yeah,
a
now they have so many of them. Like you can find
hmm.
them anywhere. We find them at Whole Foods typically.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just scented candles. Please get you one.
Yes.
So
Yes.
good. So good. So yeah, so that brings me to this question.
Hmm.
What do you think the world needs more of?
Honestly, this is an easy one, and I think just kindness. I think just genuine kindness and presence, just being in the presence of someone and being able to share a little bit of light, a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of, it doesn't have to be sunshine, but just like common graciousness to your fellow human.
Absolutely. I would have
What
to
about
agree with that.
what about you?
Yeah, I would say more love, and that
Mm-hmm.
goes like, more love towards one another. And I feel like that comes from you um, loving yourself first. Um, how we love ourselves
Mm-hmm.
is the extent of how we are able to love others. And I think that is a huge one. You know, I wanna feel and I wanna see more love in the world, and I think that that comes from us doing the individual work
Mhm.
so that collectively we can be better for one another because we are all energy, right? All connected. We are all connected to one another. And once we start to see ourselves in that manner, it's like, okay, I have to treat that person with love
Mhm.
because I treat myself with love.
Mhm.
And so that's what I would say. More love, please.
Absolutely, 100% to that. Yes, fill up my cup with that too. But you're right. I think it comes from starting within, loving yourself first, because then you have that love to give others, right? I think the greatest gift we can give others is first being able to truly love and understand and accept ourselves, because then everybody else is just a reflection of that.
Absolutely. That's it.
Yep,
That's it.
that's it.
What should we have less of?
Wow, what should we have less of? You know what? I'm just gonna say this maybe a little bit, I don't want to say technology, maybe social media, maybe, yeah, maybe absent minded scrolling.
Mm,
There you go, to be specific, because I don't want to just say technology or social media, because I feel like that is a connector as well, but maybe the use of these tools, rather than absent mindless scrolling, being able to temper that with more conscious, intentional use of these platforms.
yeah, no, and I love that because I think sometimes, and this happens with me, and this is personal, like I'm sharing my personal take on it, is that sometimes as a mean to escape something, like I'll be working on something or I'm like trying to learn something that I'm not crazy about. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I will pick up my phone and start scrolling,
Same.
and it's a way for me to escape. I don't like being here right now and I want to escape.
It's like a
And
coping
so,
mechanism.
yeah, it is. And so, to me, it's finding healthier ways to cope, right? So, when that
Mhm.
feeling of discomfort comes into play, um, could I find like better, healthier ways to do it? So, yeah.
I
So, I
love
would
that.
have to agree. I think um, less of that, like mindless scrolling
Mhm.
and more and being more intentional about what we're doing
I
and
love
how we're
that.
spending our time. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Just that one small change can impact our lives. And that goes hand in hand with loving ourselves more, right? Like finding other ways to get that dopamine fix or coping skill or coping mechanism.
Yes. Coping. Yeah. That's a huge
Mhm.
one. I love that. And lastly, it's a two-part question. What has been the best advice you've ever gotten? Like, doesn't have to be in life, but like maybe within the last couple of years that's really like resonated with you and helped you in some way.
You know what? Going back to when you talked about how the world needs more love, when I first had my daughter, somebody told me I was just so worried about how am I gonna, like, what do I do? What's some good parenting tips? And she said, just love her with all you have. Just love. That's the best advice for parenting, for life in general, being able to put your all and your love into something. That is the best advice I got.
I do love that.
What about you?
I agree. Um, well, I think you might have said this to me or reminded me of this. Our children don't belong to us.
Oh yes, that's something I remind myself too. It's a Khalil Gibran
Yes,
quote.
yes. And I read that many, many years ago, and it kind of resonated. I was like, yeah, I get it. Makes sense. but it didn't make sense until maybe a few years ago when I really started to um, understand and let
Yeah.
go of like the notion of like you know, my children are mine and I have to make sure and I have to do. No, they're not. And so just
Mhm.
releasing that has
Yeah.
been freeing for me. And I think it's also helped me to cultivate a better, loving relationship with my children, ironically, right? So I would say that has been the best reminder, the best advice I've ever gotten.
Wow. Yes, Khalil Gibran, the prophet. He has a whole chapter about how our children don't belong to us. I know. And they don't. When we set them free, that's when true love happens, when true healing, when true peace.
I experience it. I know that love. So yes, I would have to agree. It's really life changing.
And the
Really.
kids are your kids are so lucky to be able to have a mom who understands that and has practiced that.
Yeah.
So good job, because I know that's not easy.
No, it's not easy at all. But yeah. And so what has been the worst advice?
The worst. You know what? Public speaking is a number one fear of most people. And I think one of the worst fears was just to imagine people naked because I cannot do that. I remember somebody telling me that when I was giving like a freshman speech or something in undergrad. They were like, just imagine them naked. And I remember thinking, oh, I don't want to do that.
Girl.
And that made me more anxious because then I was like actively trying to like think of ways to calm myself down. So yeah, maybe that's the worst one that I can think of off the top of my head.
I've heard that too, and
Right?
I've done many public speaking engagements, and I would say that has never worked out.
No,
You know
no.
what has worked,
Mm-hmm.
or going into like the best advice, is taking that anxious feeling and fear
Mm-hmm.
and convincing yourself that I'm excited, right? So I'm
Yeah.
not scared. I'm actually excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Totally.
just approaching many fearful things in life. So that would also have to be my other favorite like advice too. Is and Mel Robbins. I'm a huge fan of her work. If you don't know her, please look her up. She is just a firecracker of like a human being. She is amazing. So just like turning fear into excitement, just it's like a mind trick, but it actually works because it's the same. It's kind of like the same emotion, right? So fear and excitement, but excitement is so much more powerful and like
They're very close. It's like
yeah.
your amygdala fires off the fear, and then I think it's very close with your, the excitement neurons. Um, yeah. So what about you? What is your worst advice?
Worst advice. This might have not been advice, but it was unsolicited. It was like kind of like something that was said to me that love does not exist, or like kind of like along the lines where like yeah, there's it doesn't really exist, and I
Somebody straight up told you that?
yeah, and
Oh
I
my,
and I
was it a
said
guy?
no, huh?
Was it a
It was a
male?
woman. It was a woman. Yeah. And that was, and I knew that that was a bad advice, and I
Yes.
don't subscribe to that. I'd rather get it wrong a million times
Mm-hmm.
than never having had experience the magic emotion of love, because to me, it's actually the only thing that is real. Um, and
Yes.
so, yeah,
Yes.
so yeah.
100%. That gave me like chills.
Hmm.
You are right on the money with that.
So yeah, it's
Wow.
really the worst
Woo.
thing I've heard.
I feel that.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Little pearls of wisdom that you're just adding. I don't have a necklace on. I should have put like some pearls. Just
Yeah, I
each
love pearls. I still have my pearls. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna keep it because it's something that's so timeless, it never goes away. Like
no.
you can have pearls forever.
You can, and
It's
the way that
so,
they are created
yeah,
is
right,
magical.
right.
From a little piece of sand, and then the clam just keeps spitting and creating like this mucus hard layer that keeps hardening over time, which
It's
is just
amazing.
wild to think about.
Yeah, it is. And we
It's
have,
like, and you know what? It's the sand irritates. It irritates the clam. So
oh,
out of irritation, this beautiful
wow,
pearl is created.
that's life.
It's life.
That's life. It's amazing. It is amazing.
Pearls of wisdom just in this like 20 minutes of talking.
Yeah, no, that's what it's about, and that's what we're hoping that this podcast will be able to deliver each and every time. That's always our intention. We've been
Mhm.
able to have conversations with so many powerful guests on here
Oh yes.
um, that have so much wisdom, so much knowledge, information, and we want to help amplify those voices and carry it on. With our values and our just our core values and things that we believe in,
Mhm.
and this is why we're here, and we hope we can do that. So do stay connected with us.
Yes.
Um, Follow us, join us. I don't like to say follow. I want you to join us, and we're so happy that you're here. And so, yeah, we'll be dropping episodes once a month. Look out for special guests, and sometimes it'll just be Nahal and I because
Mhm.
we are in our 40s now. So we've gathered some little wisdoms here and there that we would love to share. So, and we're constantly growing and transforming. This is why we do consider this a transformational journey because it's ongoing, right? So we're constantly learning and growing, and we get to do that together.
Yes. Which is so exciting. And I'm so excited for future episodes and this new platform, which we're still getting used to. So thank you everybody for their patience while we upload and while we get used to like editing and just the whole production of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can follow me on Instagram, luce.inspiration. That's where I'll be posting all the updates. I'm very active on the stories
And we have a TikTok.
and TikTok. Nahal is a big TikToker. She's on there. All the fun dances.
I'm not on Instagram anymore, but you'll find me on TikTok.
You'll find her on TikTok. On TikTok sometimes. Yeah, it's fun though. I'm having a blast on TikTok. I think it's a great platform too. So, um, yeah. So that's where we'll be. And
Mhm.
again, do stay in touch with us. Send us questions. If you are someone that would like to join us on the show, we'd love to hear from you too. So, yeah.
I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Anything else we left out in terms of who we are? So, just caveat. I just want to add this: we are both TV people. We
Yeah.
have our background, extensive background in
Mhm.
television, and what also connected us is our um, our love for media, right? So,
Mhm.
but also wanting to use our voices in a different way in terms
Right.
of like spreading more good news and
Yeah.
highlighting more positivity, and also having a platform where we're actually spreading information and teaching and helping women prioritize their well-being, right? So
Yes.
that's
100%.
how we ended up here. Um, so we're using our, our broadcasting and our writing skills to do that in our own way. So I just wanted to add that too, which I thought was something that really connected us and still does till this day. So
It's always part of us too.
always part of us. So yeah, exciting. Thank you for
Wow.
being here.
Thank you guys for being here. We'll see you. We'll see you really soon. We look forward to all your comments
Yes.
and feedback.
Sending you also so much love. Till the next time.